Hold on. Wait. 1 second. 1 second. We got to backtrack it 1 second.
Okay,
now,
go ahead.
Because I got this submitted. This question submitted from the Collie. Big shout out to the Collie.com. They've been supporting us as well. We got to go back to '93 when Ruthless was going through that transitional period. And one thing I admire about Eric was he didn't lie down. He kept on fighting and pushing that brand, keeping Ruthless alive. You did some work for its own Dr. Dre 187 album, and one of the coldest ever was Any Last Word.
5150 in that. Yeah, 5150 in that record. We did 2 records in that transition. So we did the Christmas album, which is 5150, and then we did its own Dr. Dre Killer, which is that has Any Last Words on it. Yeah. Your question was?
Yeah, and one of the questions that this dude submitted to me was this dude by the name of Fatal. Big shout out to him. He wanted to know about Eazy, working with him, on that transition period after leaving Dre, and did he look sick when recording that record?
Nah, I mean the thing is about all of that is, one thing I would tell you, I mean, I would say work yourself to death. I didn't see a downside in his stride. You know what I mean, as far as working. Working with him was one of the most incredible things that I could tell you that a person with his prestige would have. Like, he was a very rich man. He was in control of his own shit, but he was just as humble as the guy that lived next door to you, that didn't have shit, really. You know what I mean? He highly respected a guy with a musical approach and a vision like myself. He didn't never pull any punches by saying that, hey, you're the guy with the talent. I'm just the artist that, you're supposed to actually position and make me look good. That's the humbling thing about Eazy E. Even though people might think he was something else, he wasn't. You know what I mean? He was a very humble dude, working with. He was about his shit, of course. He stood on, he had the Napoleon complex. He was a little dude, so he had but we both did because, and we never, that's why me and him kind of got along. Really, really good. So it was incredible working with him, just as him being the CEO of the company, and then him being my friend. Because what people don't know about me, when Dr. Dre left, I was his liaison. I was his music liaison at that time. Everything that he wanted to do came across my desk. So we worked together more than just those records, and I worked close with him. I never saw that coming. That was a blind side, to be honest with you guys. So with the guy that asked the question, no, I didn't see any of that. Even in the last days, I didn't. I mean, he worked so fucking much, man. I don't think you would have known anyway.
Yeah, one thing about it, because we rehashed that story so much in terms of like the trials and tribulations with him and NWA. But one thing about it, shout out to Kelly Park, where Eazy rep, man. One thing about it is I don't think people really give enough credit for Eazy for what he contributed in terms of hip hop or what he brought, because he brought, NWA, he brought, you guys came into the fold on the Ruthless. I mean, J.J. Fad was Supersonic, of course, Lemon, Lemonhead.
Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum Grammy-nominated J.J. Fad as well. So give them their props. And that's because of Eazy E. He saw that record, and he got behind that record. See, I'm glad you touched on that, my brother. And this is
go ahead, please.
This is what I feel. I always have to stand on what Eric done. And to the listeners, that's Eazy E. Is this. Without him, there is no people that you see today. I don't think there's a Kendrick Lamar without him. So, bro, with that, I don't think that there's an Eminem. There's not a Snoop Dogg. There's not, because these things don't happen. If he doesn't if he doesn't position Ruthless Records with his street bread, if he don't position Ruthless Records with them actually pushing forward and making history, because it didn't have to happen. In the brilliance, there is no Bone Thugs and Harmony without him. The brilliance of all of these people, there's no Us, no Cocaine, there's no G-Funk. There's none of that stuff that you can without his single move So when people think Eazy E is just a rapper who died from AIDS, well, I feel sorry for you. because he was the business mind behind all of us. He was a guy who told
yes, he was.
us. He was a guy who said, "Hey, we're black." He was a guy who said, "Hey, you guys, we're going to be the biggest record label on the universe. We're going to be, super groups. We're going to be." Me and Ren laughed about that one time, and one time said, "Man, we're going, y'all like, Bullet Law is like the Rolling Stones, and we like the Beatles. We're going to have a super group. We're going to have two super groups, at the label." We were just dudes just trying to get off the streets. You know what I mean? So think about his vision. Think about his vision, what he had, his mind. When he came to me with Bone Thugs and Harmony, that all these dudes going to be rapping and singing, what you think? When he played, I was like, oh, yeah, it's cool. I didn't know 11, 12 million records later, that's what it would be. But it was, hey, he saw that. You know what I mean? So when you get to talking about him just being another rapper who did this or who did that, then I feel sorry for you, because a lot of us don't exist without him. There is no Beats by Dre. There's no Dr. Dre. There's no Ice Cube with Fridays, and are we there yet? And because it doesn't happen without him saying, hey, I got some bread from this dope money. Let's do this. Doesn't happen, y'all.
Yeah.
You don't know.
And another
guy.
trivia.
I'm not saying that they don't. I'm not saying that they don't go on and do something else as somebody else or something. I'm just telling you, you follow them and you represent them because of that. You follow Death Row because of what we done at Ruthless Records. That's why you follow it. You want to look at Snoop because Snoop has talent, but you looking at him because he's under Dr. Dre's wing, which is what was started before that. I'm sorry, y'all. Everything has history to it. Okay? I know we want to dress that pig up in a wig, but it's still a pig. You know what I'm saying? So,
But